After changing legal representation at the last minute, former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Abdul Razak claimed today that he has been left defenceless in his final appeal at the federal court over his SRC International conviction. This comes after his lead counsel, Hisham tried and failed to discharge himself from the case and then said that he would not be filing any submissions to defend his client. Najib was speaking to the press at the Palace of Justice. He expressed disappointment at the court for not granting his request to adjourn the appeal and not allowing Hisham to withdraw for him to find a new counsel. Najib said he is now left without a defence counsel and highlighted that in such a high-profile case, it is totally unprecedented that the defence is left without a counsel. He also said that his right to life, liberty and a fair hearing is now at stake and urged the court to take remedial measures to grant an adjournment, as this is an important case. Meanwhile, Hisham, who was standing next to Najib, said he could see no meaningful role that he could play in the proceedings, given he was not prepared. He stressed that his team simply needed more time to go through all the relevant documents. Under the current circumstances, Hisham said he is unable to effectively represent Najib as counsel. Proton Holdings has formalised a deal to sell and service vehicles from premium energy vehicle brand Smart Automobile Co. in Malaysia and Thailand, with the first smart model to be sold by Proton during the first phase of the collaboration in the fourth quarter of 2023. Both parties signed today a general distribution agreement, which is expected to pave the way for the introduction of new EVs by the national car maker. Proton Chairman Datuk Sri Syed Faizal Alba, Syed A.R. Alba said, through the collaboration agreement, Proton will gain critical knowledge of how to market, sell and service new EVs, given that these are all new areas to many car manufacturers. He said all companies in Malaysia should work together in the EV space to accelerate the implementation of the infrastructure and that strong government policies are needed to bring all the players together to form a comprehensive roadmap. While Proton's collaboration with Smart is primarily a retail operation, there are developments to pave the way for the car maker's entry into the EV market. Proton CEO Dr. Lee Chun Rong, who was also present at the ceremony, noted that it intends to model retail operations for Smart based on what the company does in other markets. MISC slipped into the red with a net loss of 19.1 million ringgit for the second quarter of FY22 against a net profit of 538.8 million ringgit a year ago, amid higher impairment losses on non-current assets and finance costs and share of losses from joint ventures. It declared a second tax-exempt dividend of 7 cents per share. Quarterly revenue, in contrast, grew 36.47% to 3.21 billion ringgit, thanks to contributions from all of its business segments. For the first half, net profit fell 63.11% to 357.3 million ringgit, while revenue rose 24.21% to 6.08 billion ringgit. On its prospects, MISC President and Group CEO Datuk Yi Yang Qian said it will remain focused on ensuring the successful execution of its ongoing projects and consistently delivering its solutions safely, efficiently and reliably to support the needs of the global maritime ecosystem. He added the group is confident its robust fundamentals will empower it to progressively achieve its ambitions in the long term. At the close, MISC settled 4.85% lower at 6 ringgit 87 for a market capitalisation of 30.67 billion ringgit. Magnum's net profit for the second quarter of FY22 jumped to 26.4 million ringgit, over 12 times the 2.05 million ringgit it made in the same period last year, as gaming sales more than tripled to 482 million ringgit. Quarterly revenue rose 47.68% to 482.14 million ringgit. The number forecast operators' performance in the previous year was affected by the nationwide lockdown that resulted in the cancellation of 15 draws in June 2021. It declared a second interim dividend of 1.5 cents per share. For the first half, Magnum's net profit rose to 43.06 million ringgit, over 4 times the 9.57 million ringgit it made previously, as revenue climbed 38.4% to 983.19 million ringgit. Looking ahead, Magnum believes its gaming sales will continue to recover in the coming months as the group takes steps to boost its sales via various campaigns. Magnum shares slipped 1.19% to close at RM1.66, with a market capitalisation of 2.39 billion ringgit. Genting Hong Kong said its joint provisional liquidators are in the process of considering offers from potential buyers for its equity interest in Resorts World Manila, as well as its interests in certain residential and hotel properties in China. Genting Hong Kong said in a filing today that shareholders, investors and potential investors are advised to exercise caution when dealing in the securities of the company. In the same filing, the group updated that all of its vessels, except Genting Dream and Crystal Mozart, had been mortgaged to banking syndicates KfW IPEX Bank, Credit Agricole Asia Ship Finance and DNB Bank. Crystal Mozart was disposed of through private treaty sale for €10.4 million or 47.27 million ringgit, while the GDR Bank Syndicate are the owners of Genting Dream. The joint provisional liquidators noted that Genting Hong Kong has not received and is not expected to receive any recoveries from any actual or anticipated disposal proceeds in respect of the mortgaged vessels, since the sums are substantially below the amount of secured indebtedness owed to the relevant bank syndicates. The bank syndicates are also expected to claim any shortfall from the estate of the company, as it has also provided certain guarantees in respect of such secured indebtedness.